Hey everyone, I'm out for a walk and I've been wanting to find some time to talk to you all about investing. I love investing. And this time of year is always when I start thinking about what I'm gonna be investing for the year to come, and I start to make some of my investments, mainly because we're usually getting back our tax money, a larger chunk of money that I can hi doggy, that I can apply toward it. So I've been investing, I was just thinking of how long it's been. Definitely since 2020. So at least 2 years, maybe a little bit longer. And it's been quite a journey for me. I started because my husband encouraged me, but I was extremely resistant. I was like, I don't want to do this. No, like, why would I want to, get involved with investing? And he knew I'd be good at it. So, and I started out first I paid a good couple $1,000s or so, probably close to like 2,500 or 3,000, for an online trading, for a course through Claytrader, who is wonderful if you're looking for just basic knowledge and more in-depth and advanced knowledge as well, but about trading and where to get started. And so I started with Clay, and I never finished the course, I will tell you that, but I did most of it. I paid for the whole thing. You can pay for bits and pieces, the whole thing. And I signed up for their online community, and I was a part of that for a while. And it was good. It really got me getting out there into the markets. I set up an account with Interactive Brokers, and I was trading on there and on TD Ameritrade and Merrill. Most of the money I traded with was on Interactive Brokers, but we had some of these other accounts set up, Fidelity. But I didn't love it then. I was definitely stressed. I lost more money than I gained. But as I'll be talking about, that's not the point of investing. Money gained or lost, that really doesn't matter, honestly. But yeah, I was stressed. I was frustrated. I felt like I was not focused on my family and my kids. And I was like, what am I doing? And because I kind of went like full steam ahead for a bit there. And I was getting up early. I was trading futures. I was getting up early to get the foreign markets, and oh my God. And I did that for a while. I think I must have done that probably a good 6 months. And I was just like, I'm stopping. And I took a break. And this is probably sometime in 2020 to late 2019, early 2020. And then I got more involved in swing trading, holding things a bit longer. So I felt a little more relaxed around that. And and then last year, so 2021, I think, was the first year I started investing in cryptocurrency. And I started to find that I really loved cryptocurrency because it was just so new. There wasn't a lot of rules and regulations, or really any. It's very volatile and very exciting. And so that's mainly where I focused my investments last year. I did invest in some ETFs, but what was really interesting is putting the focus more where I really loved to invest. I ended up doubling what I had invested in crypto. I'd invested about 10 grand and it doubled to like 21. But I didn't sell. And when I did take it out, it was back down to my initial investment. But that's something I'll talk about in a bit, about why I could still consider that a success. And my investments that I had done through Interactive Brokers, I maybe made a couple $100 or something. Nothing, not as much as I made in crypto. Well, I made and then lost in crypto. So I came to this realization recently, which made me want to talk to you about this, is that a lot of people, when they invest, they are thinking about profit, right? What can I make? Like, what money can I make? How much can I make? How fast can I make it? That was definitely my mindset when I started. But it's pretty wind chimes. But what I've discovered is that investing is so much more than just the surface level, right? Like choosing what you invest in, how you invest it. Are you a day trader? Because that's what I was attempting to be for a while. It was just way too stressful for me at that time, at least the way I was doing it. I think it's possible that I could now day trade and not have it be so stressful, but I'm also not so sure. Day trader. Are you a swing trader? Do you keep your trades for a few weeks? Are you a futures trader? Are you, a crypto? Are you just in crypto? Are you in currencies? Yada, yada, yada. So there's so many choices. And you'll find that as you choose where you want to, yes, put your money, but it's just important to remember that money is energy going up a big hill. So what you put in is really just energy, and it's your energy. And I found that if you go where you intuitively feel good, right, where it feels good, your investment's gonna do well. And then also having in mind, what is the purpose of your investment? And I think that's one that I wasn't always thinking a lot about. I would just invest and be like, oh, I'll see what happens. But that's one thing I'd say I've learned recently. You have to have an end, an exit. So like recently I invested in about $555 to be exact in a cloud mining company that mines Bitcoin. So, but when I invested, I'd read up on cloud mining and what a scam it could be, and to be very careful about that. But I was intrigued by it just because I'd never invested in that way before. Instead of investing in the actual currency, you're investing in those who mine the currency. But what I didn't at the time understand. But now see, the thing is, now that I've invested in it, I'm understanding is that most likely investing in the actual currency is going to be more profitable, because when you invest in the mining, you're paying for all the cost of these, supercomputers to run, and the security around it and everything. You're paying for that. And so, like, they call it I learned about hash rates, and the hash rate is kind of the amount of oomph there, and what you're going to get per day in terms of what's being mined. And, like, I'm getting like a 3 THS hash rate for my investment, which means basically, like, in a year, it's unlikely that I'm going to make back my investment. Like, if you do the calculations, like, I'm going to make back maybe half of it, now. But the thing is, if Bitcoin's price just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, then sure, I could make back my investment and maybe then some. But most likely to make back my investment, the contracts are a year that I'm in, I'd have to hold it longer than a year, which I only wanted to be in the investment for a year. I wanted to double what I was putting in a year. So it's like, knowing that, I figured out after I invested, like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. But this investment probably isn't going to do it. But now I know what I wanted to do, and kind of I learned about how it works and how to do it. So to me, it's still successful. Okay. And that's the same like last year when I invested in crypto for the first time. You always hear buy low, sell high. And sure, that's a very simple and good strategy for any investment. But it doesn't factor in the learning aspect of it. What are you learning about yourself? What are you growing? Sorry for that loud truck. What are you growing within yourself? What are you birthing? What's dying? What's being reborn? Investing ties in so deeply to that. Because when I say you're putting your energy into your investments, it's like your powerhouse, like whether your investment is doing well or your investment is, so-called not doing well, up or down, going up or going down, you feel that viscerally and physically in your body, in your powerhouse. It's incredible, honestly. Never have I felt more lit up and alive. Well, there's probably other things that can certainly do that, but it's that kind of feeling, and you may find that in something, investing can relate to anything, it could relate to investing, time in a business, your own business, investing time, like you care for horses, and it's all investing. And for me, it's money, it's numbers. And my family, but it directly relates to my family, right? The money and numbers and the way they move and the budget we have and what's flowing in, what's flowing out directly relates to what I am outputting to my family. On, not surface level, but also on a surface level, can I get those bunk beds I want, like, so that kind of thing. The water's so beautiful. The sun's just reflecting off it. It's spring and warm today. It's going to snow about 12 inches probably by Friday, in 2 days. So that year that and I doubled it, I think now, like, after having been through, which I held the cryptocurrency I had for, I held it for June. About 6 months. So now I know, like, okay, when I invest in crypto again, and if I feel the markets are kind of similar to what they were when I originally invested in, then I'm going to say, okay, I want to double my investment. When I double my investment, I'm going to take my principal, my initial investment out. how it's learning that, you know. And I think last year gave me the ability to kind of see, okay, what do these crypto markets do? What can they do? You know, what's capable? So the stock market, it's very regulated. You know, it's not that you can't make money. I know some people that make a lot of money legally and do so very well, because they just kind of know the rules and strategies and things to use. But there wasn't as much like flow in the stock market for me. Like the stock market for me is more about reading the charts, and then I can see how certain assets perform over, you know, so many months to a year based on the charts, and I can make predictions. But it's important to know how much I'm willing to lose, because I think it's important that to me wasn't as important with crypto. Crypto was more like, okay, do I want it to double? It's going to go up. You know, it's going to go up. So how much do I want it to go up before I take it out? And then for me with crypto, it would be like, well, if it didn't and it went back down, you know, I'd be holding it. I held the crypto for about 6 months. So it was more about how much is it going to go up? How much do I want it to double? And then if it returns to my principal, I take it out, which is what I did, you know. Well, I didn't take it out when it doubled, but I took it out when it came back down to my principal. And with the stock market, for me, it's more knowing those charts, knowing, you know, places of support and resistance. So places that act as a buffer of where the price will usually fall to, but it'll go back up after that. That's support. And then resistance, where the price will hit and usually go back down, you know, but has the possibility of breaking through. And, you know, adjusting like where within that range is basically where I'd want to make my trade. You know, which right now I'm looking at a couple blockchain companies to invest in once I have some more money in my Interactive Brokers account. But I'm starting to this year, I'm going to start playing more with transferring the Bitcoin, like being able to move the cryptocurrency more. Using wallets, being able to move, you know, my crypto that is mined. If I would like to not reinvest it, I can move it into my Kraken exchange, which is where I do my trading of crypto and can hold it there. Or maybe, I mean, personally, I haven't needed to use Bitcoin to purchase anything at this point, but you know, who knows? Maybe this year, being able to move it into a wallet for purchase, or for storage. But I've held my crypto mainly on exchanges because I haven't had huge amounts of it. But yeah, I find when I am investing, I am in a very healthy place. Wealthy. Like I like to say wealthy these days instead of healthy, because I think health is very surface level and wealth encompasses inside out. You know, and when I'm investing, I'm definitely inside outing. So, and I think, you know, I'm still learning, I'm still growing as an investor, but I do feel that I'm doing well. I feel it's not a measure, you know, money gained is not a measure of me doing well. It's not. And money lost is not a measure of me doing poorly. It's, you know, just looking at my life and myself, you know, am I happy? Am I wealthy? And, you know, I don't want for anything. I don't need for anything. Whatever I want or desire, I have, you know, or I can receive. or I do receive. The same with my children and my husband and my family. And that to me that's all I need, is a confirmation that what I'm doing is working, and to keep going. So, and I think, I was saying, there's a certain type of investor that is willing to put their money in just to see what it does, and then, to take it out or to put it in to lose it. And, that's the kind of so-called lose it, that's the kind of investor I am. I don't have an attachment to the actual money, because the money I'm investing with is not the money that keeps the roof over the head. And that's the mistake my husband and I made in the past when he was doing the investing. I wasn't. He was. The money we were investing was the money that was meant to pay all the bills. So this money is not meant for that, which makes it much, which frees it up in a way that it needs to be free. So that's one recommendation I would say. Definitely don't use the money that you would need for your basic expenses to invest in. That's a no-no. Don't do that. Okay. And you can invest with very little, like I started out, it's $2,000 or less. After brokers, I think you could open an account with maybe even just a couple hundred. But places today for crypto, you can buy crypto on PayPal for $20, so it doesn't have to be a large amount. And and I would say just, go with what feels good and have fun with it, and enjoy what it's teaching you, what you're learning about yourself and how you're growing. So hope you've enjoyed this video. I really enjoy talking about this. I'm so excited to see what this year holds for me in terms of investing, and would love to hear what you are investing in, or how many years you've been investing. Are you a new investor, or you're a long-time investor? What do you like to invest in? What have you learned about yourself? And finished my walk. It's a lovely walk. And thanks, friends. Love you. Bye.